Many of us are in that place, letting go what we once held on to, learning to rebuild our homes, our way of life, as we turn to YaHUaH's ways. And in this walk, it can feel heavier than we expected. Sometimes, your soul just feels cast down. Your spirit is low, and your heart is heavy within you. Yet Yahushua said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." How can this be when your soul feels cast down? When deep inside, it feels like something in you gave way, like a vessel you cannot put back together. And even there, something in you is still reaching, like it hasn't gone quiet, drawing you back to His Word, to prayer, to return, and to do His will. But the light is not entering because of the crack. The light is already there, restoring what was damaged. YaHUaH does not leave us in that place. He says He will give us the oil of simchah for mourning. Simchah is not just joy. It is what returns life to what felt lost within you. This is what He is doing, even now. This isn't something He placed on you for a moment. This is what enters within and restores what has been crushed, what has been weighed down, what has been sitting low within you. Remain still, achoti, and allow Him to lead you and anoint what is within you. The oil of simchah restores what has been cast down until what was low within you begins to rise again. This is why it is written, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the Tiferet of YaHUaH has risen upon you, so that what has been low might rise again." YaHUaH comforts those who mourn, and He anoints them. We see this in Hannah, who came before YaHUaH with her heart poured out. And before anything changed outwardly, something within her was restored. Her countenance was lifted, even before the answer came. And from that place, she brought forth what would rebuild beyond her. And I began to see this, not just in the Word, but in my own life. It was not until I began to rise before the sunrise and allowing Him to meet me there that I began to understand. I remember a dream early in my marriage where we were standing together, full of joy. As the evening began to fall, darkness started to form around us. And then we saw a man with light in his hands and brightness surrounding him. And as the darkness continued to form, he began to move forward. And without hesitation, we both followed the light. And over time, I began to understand what that means. We are not meant to remain where darkness is forming. We are called to follow the light. And for me, this began when I started rising early, in the silence, before the little feet began to move. before I begin to serve my home, before the meals, the lessons, the small hands I tend to, before the day begins, I begin to come before Him at dawn and stand in His light. There is something about that hour before the day begins where YaHUaH's presence meets you in a way the rest of the day does not. What was felt heavy does not follow you in the same way, where He begins to restore you before anything else asks something from you. And I begin to desire that my children will come and seek Him with me before the day begins. Because I began to understand restoration must begin in my own tent, within me, before I could rebuild anything beyond my home. Because you are to build your own house, the first place He entrusts to you, the place where you serve, the place where you tend, the place where you are seen daily. This is where He begins to rebuild. And He was restoring what was within me. And when I began to stand in His light, the Ruach began to comfort me, not just to soothe what I felt, but to bring clarity to what was within me. What once felt heavy began to settle. What once felt unclear began to open, and I began to see what I could not see before, and I began to respond differently. I found myself holding my shalom when my heart would have been reacted, and staying present when I would have pulled away before. Because YaHuaH bears all things and endures all things. Not from my own strength, because He was strengthening me. And as He restored me, He was also preparing me to be made new, to reflect His light, to walk by His Ruach, and to carry what He was rebuilding. He was not just healing me, He was forming me to love, to endure, and to rebuild. Because those He restores, He does not leave as they were. It is written, they shall rebuild the old wounds, they shall raise up the former desolations, they shall repair the ruined cities. Because in mourning we begin to see clearly, not a life that appears full outwardly as we see nowadays in social media, while the heart remains empty within, but a heart that has been brought low and made ready to receive His light. And when His light fills what was low within you, He does not leave you as you were. What He restores in you begin to rebuild your own house. So do not turn away from the place of mourning. This is not where it ends, because it is there that He calls you to see and prepares you to rebuild. This is why He restores you, not just to make you whole again, but so that what has been broken might be raised again. And it began in your own tent, in your own home. In that place you tend daily, in a heart you are shaping, in a life you are building with your hand. The same hand that served, the same heart that was heavy, the same place that felt worn, He restores, so that it might become a place of rebuilding. But it does not end there. What He restores in you, He intends to restore through you. And this began to take form in a way you walk before Him, in a way your life becomes ordered according to His word, in a small acts of obedience, in returning, in the guarding of what is set apart, in the love that is lived out daily, in a way you serve your home, in a way you speak, the way you respond, the way you rise and come before Him. What He restores within you begin to be seen in the way you walk before Him. These are not small things. This is how He rebuilds through what you do as you walk in what He has restored within you. To rebuild is to raise what was falling, to restore what has been neglected, to bring life where there has been desolation. You are not just being healed, you are being appointed. Those He restores are the ones He appoints to rebuild. He meets you there before the world does. He restores you before anything else asks something from you. So do not remain in mourning. What He has restored within you was not meant to remain hidden. He has brought you into this light. He has begun to form you, not as you were, but as one being restored and appointed to rebuild. Rise and stand in His light. Shalom achoti.